All right, Trips, what's happening?
Hello, mate.
Mate, I've just realised that actually, even if we can't, because as tradition, when we go live to YouTube, people can't hear us. But because the conversation's turned off, we'll have no idea. So we could get 2 hours deep into this and go, oh, no one can hear us.
Someone will message us in the group, I'm sure. Court, I think. Aye. She's normally good with that stuff.
Exactly. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to what we're now officially calling Chewin The Hearts for these community chats. We'll do one once a month. We did one in January. We'll do one again for the month of February. And the good thing is we've got just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Hearts victories to talk about, because that's all Hearts Day. So there'll be no tears and snotters. Well, I'm assuming there'll be no tears and snotters unless anybody's drastically upset that we conceded a goal to Airdrie. But Andrew, what's been happening?
Nothing. Another week of me not going to football because I'm banned.
Very true.
It's been kind of boring, although I didn't have to watch this one on a computer. I got to watch it on the actual telly, which was a bit of a rare treat, but I'd still rather be back at the games. But I appreciate that can't happen.
For the people that are keeping tally or keeping score, the last game Andrew was Rangers at home. He's not been allowed since, and if you're keeping track, we lost the subsequent next game to Aberdeen, but then since then have been literally unbeaten, only drawing to Ross County. They only dropped points in the sequence. So, yeah, you're not coming back, Andrew, I'm afraid. Kev, what you doing with your spare seat next to you? You just lounging out?
I'm just going to lounge. I'm thinking I might bring a cushion just to chill out and relax. It's pretty quiet though in that whole row. So if anybody wants to join me, you're more than welcome. But be aware, I am a miserable bastard.
Yep. Well, you are at the age to bring a tartan rug and a couple of Werther's originals to the football, aren't you?
Aye, it's fine. It's no problem, is it?
That's true. Matty, what's been happening? You been outside Cibic's house in any bushes recently, or what you been up to?
I was round to his for tea the other night, to be honest. No. I've not seen anyone at all. Pretty shite. Just football's good, but no stalking this week.
Oh well. Robert, Derek, Liam, Darren, all joining us as well, but they'll just contribute as and when they want to jump in. Like I said, we'll quickly go over St Johnstone, because we haven't had any content out since St Johnstone, and then we'll look at the game that was on Sunday in the Scottish Cup, potential banana skin. Then obviously we know who we're at next in the Cup, and we host Motherwell at home on Saturday, so we'll just have a wee discussion about all of that. Sound good, boys?
Sure does.
Yep. All good.
St Johnstone first was the most, I don't know what I'm more impressed in our results. I know that Airdrie are Championship, and at points it was pipe and slippers performance for Airdrie, but I don't know, I think I'm still more impressed with the St Johnstone result, because the St Johnstone game night, it was snowing at one point, it was minging, it was horrible. It was the most Wednesday night in St Johnstone that I've ever been to, except Hearts won, and to be honest, we're pretty comfortable with it looking sensational. What's the thoughts?
There you go.
I was just going to say, I thought last week against St Johnstone, I just never thought we were in any real trouble whatsoever. Thought we controlled the first part of the game pretty well. I didn't really think there was much. I think Clark makes one save, but it's right at him. But other than that, I thought we were pretty decent on the night. A few strange additions to the starting 11, I must admit, but we could talk about that shortly.
It was good to see, and one of the things that I'm starting to like about this team compared to in the past is that I thought on Wednesday night at St Johnstone we were guilty of overplaying it in the final third. I thought we got into some really, really decent areas. Yeah, the one that sticks out is Fraser. In the first half we play it brilliantly, play nice triangles, and he's through and tries to just do that one next pass, probably too much. But on Sunday we were the opposite. We were clinical. Like we weren't guilty of overplaying at all. We 9 times out of 10 on Sunday made the right choice, the right pass, And all that was lacking really was just a bit of that sort of clinical finishing. You look at Vargas had a couple of chances, Forrest had a couple of chances, George Grant gave himself concussion, but we'll come on to all that was fresh air swipe we kicked himself in the head. But I thought on Wednesday, I thought we were comfortable with foot being sensational. The first 25 minutes really set the tone of the game. I think we totally and utterly sucked the life out of St Johnstone. The only joy they were getting was going long to the big guy, the most Craig Levein striker I've ever seen in my whole entire life. Like, I'm like, does he only have one contact? Like, if that guy isn't Dutch, I'll eat my hat if that guy up front was not Mark De Vries's wee cousin or something like that, because that's exactly what it felt like.
Yeah. He kens how to find a big hoodie, didn't he?
He actually looked pretty tasty, to be fair. He had some nice touches. Yeah, good control, played it quite well. If he never played, I honestly don't know what St Johnstone would have even done, because he was the only player that had any form of imagination or forward-thinking thought in his head. Everybody else was backwards, sideways, and back to the keeper. Like you'd mentioned there, Kev, about the additions to the starting 11. I'm assuming, were you surprised to see Fraser and Oda start?
Yeah, I was slightly. I didn't expect to see them both join or both start the game. Let's put it that way.
I didn't think Oda did start, actually. I think I'm talking crap.
No, it was
Vargas, wasn't it?
Fraser and Vargas to start.
Aye.
But I think there's high expectation in regards to Fraser, but I think it'll just take a bit of time for him to bed in. Come up to speed. I don't think he played that many games for Charlton before his move. And he's now playing, a totally different probably style of football. He needs to understand how, what runs players make, etc., etc. But you started to see a bit of that on Sunday. I
did enjoy that there was already a Fred and kickback saying that Fraser's not good enough, which is class. I said, I don't know if I was talking. I don't know if I was talking to Joel Sked about it, but where we also take Shankland for granted, I think we're starting to take the fact that we're winning games and performing pretty well for granted, because our expectations as a fan base get outrageous when we start stringing wins together. Fraser has been absolutely acceptable in the last however many games he's played or whatever. He's done exactly what you would expect someone that's no played all season, that's here on loan, that is settling into a team that's mega high functioning right this very second. Aye, folk need to catch a grip. I thought he was okay, and he probably could have had a goal on Wednesday if he'd hit a shot instead of trying to cut it back. And then he had one where it opened up for him almost Neuenhoff-esque, and he put it into the stand. But aye, it was. What was your thoughts, Matty, on Wednesday, the St Johnstone performance?
I basically what you're saying. It wasn't spectacular in terms of the type of game it was. We sort of knew what they were going to do. It was going to be a horrible sort of, playing against the Levein team, what you're up against. But as soon as Shankland scored that goal, and I know you'll be getting to that, it was outrageous, to be honest, what he did. Never in any danger, to be honest. I thought it would probably finish 1, maybe 2. But the team are looking so confident just now, everything they do. And you can tell the stuff that maybe at the start of the season that everyone was quite critical about, certainly the attacking phase, that you weren't scoring enough goals. That's obviously been worked on. I don't mean for like a 1-0 win, but obviously from the last few games there's been a bit more goals. So I think that's been better. But no, St Johnstone game, like you're saying, typical. I mean, you couldn't get any more of a Wednesday night game in Perth if you tried.
No, you couldn't. You honestly couldn't. And talking of the Shankland goal, it's right. We take it for granted, but everything about the goal is outrageous because one, he knows exactly who he's playing against. So he knows he's up against Considine and McGowan, and he knows that he hods one of them off like they weren't there, and he knows that McGowan's just going to try and leather the ball into the stand, and he just unbelievable touch just to dink it past him, because he knows he's read him like an absolute book. He knows that Constantine's going to get too close, too tight, try and go over the top of him and win the header, etc., etc. And he's held him off like an empty tracksuit. And then he knows that McGowan's going to panic, and he's going to try and absolutely arse end the ball out the stadium and take him if he can with him. And he's just dinked it past him like he wasn't even there. It was a joke of a finish, an absolute joke of a finish.
McGowan was actually quite lucky, wasn't he? Because when Wee Kenny went through, and there was that VAR check, and he just kicked him, and it would have been a red card. And
that's the worst.
Millimetres offside. I've seen the replay. It looked like he was on, to be honest. I've seen
the VAR pictures. See, when it's that tight, I'd rather they just said, "Oh, we didn't cover the pictures," because when I seen that, I was like, "What? That makes it worse." Like it doesn't look how it doesn't. He looks onside.
Yeah. He really did. I mean, you've seen the pictures and the way the lines are drawn, and you're like, I know that like when it goes red, it's off, but I mean, he still looks on. So it must have been the closest call ever. But McGowan would have walked. I mean, I'm not blaming him for you wouldn't blame him for getting beat by Shankland. I mean, he would probably any defender would have got done by him when he's in this form. But it was the composure he had once he'd done that, because he still could have. Any striker could have still like ballooned that over the bar or put it wide, but he just rolled it in like the keeper wasn't even there.
Aye. And it's just like you said, there's so many parts to his game, Ando, that for Shankland that I say we see him score all different types of goals. Actually, we'll talk about his goal on Sunday, the first goal, because it's a goal that actually I'd love to see him score Mary. Do you know what I mean? Literally, I cut back and tapped it in, but the goal on Wednesday is just everything his own creation, and everything as to why obviously the banner was there to say, like, you know, here's the 50 more, because we just can't lose Lawrence Shankland. We just can't.
No, definitely no. It's like you're running out of superlatives for him. And it's like he's done. Like didn't want to labour the point. He can do everything. He's probably the most complete striker that we've ever had. And that's like you take like club legends like Robbo and Cahoon and all these guys, as brilliant as they were, and not meaning to belittle them in any way, Shankland's just so much better than them. Like he can do absolutely everything. Obviously the fullness of time will determine how much a legend he becomes, but Deccan, what else you can say about him?
We've spot you. It's apples and oranges to compare them, etc.
Yeah.
But like it's the first time in a long time that we've had a player where I don't know. It's hard to explain the feeling. You know, like Boyce, we all wanted Boyce to score. Like you hope that he scores. Like you're like, oh, he deserves a goal. I really hope he can get a goal, etc. We've all been there. Even at the points in this season, you're hoping Vargas can get a goal. Kind of hoping Tagawa can get a goal pretty soon and get a bit of confidence and stuff. Shankland, it's almost like, I wonder if he's going to get two. I wonder if he'll take a penalty and miss it just for a laugh. Like, I wonder what he's like. I wonder what he's got to do to keep himself occupied, etc., etc. Like Sunday, I know we'll talk about it. He played in the 10. He just like, why no? Scored 50 goals. I'll just play in the 10. Let Vargas and Forrest play up front, and I'll still be a goal away for a hat trick. Like the boy's just outrageous. Anything else for the St Johnstone game? I can't think of anything that jumped to mind. Like I said, it was the most Wednesday night in Perth, other than the fact that we won, and now it's 3 wins in a row in Perth.
Just 3 in a row.
Because we hadn't won there in something
10 years. I think it was 10 years before that.
It was over a decade, I think. And then fucking can't stop winning there. Brilliant.
Now we just can't win. Well, there's 2 hoodoos that need broke this season. I win at Ibrox and beating Rangers at Hampden. So hopefully Nazy's got both them in his sights. Like that's what we're hoping for.
I don't know if we'll play Rangers at Hampden because the Leith Globetrotters will take care of them.
Oh, I forgot that they've turned the corner. I forgot.
That's right. They're hot on our arse.
They absolutely spanked Celtic when they got beat 2-1, and then they absolutely spanked Inverness Madrid 3-1 with a deflection, a catastrophic defensive error, and an own goal. So, but let's not be better. Let's just focus on Hearts. Well, let's talk about Sunday. Obviously, Airdrie. Here, how good was Airdrie's pitch, by the way? That Clastroturf, it was actual brilliant, man. That was the best. That was the best Astro I've seen.
This puts a big question mark over Livy's pitch and probably Kilmarnock's as well. Kelly's looks like it's got it's got a sheen on it. It's like they've been out with Mr. Sheen polish on it.
For long spells, I had to keep reminding myself that it was plastic because it looked like grass. It looked genuinely brilliant. And before we talk about Hearts, like, credit to Airdrie. I thought Airdrie played unbelievably well. I thought they're so brave for a team. The league below us, they stuck to their guns, and ultimately it did cost them, but it made for a good game. It was an exciting game. Like, they created chances and stuff as well, and we had hundreds of chances. But I thought Airdrie were one of the tidiest teams we've played. They'd easily be better than Livy and St Johnstone and Dundee at points as well.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought they played well, Robert, didn't they?
Yeah, they looked comfortable on the ball. They moved the ball well. Yeah, I think they were a decent looking team.
I thought so. I think it's funny that at least 3 of the goals come for their manager and assistant manager making an arse of it. So I wonder if they'll be dropped for the weekend. But credit to them. They definitely done better than their Section B or whatever it is that were practicing for their half marathons before the game after getting at the big and online all week. So it was good to see Airdrie actually perform somewhere. Right, Hearts. Ando, I thought it was probably one of the most professional performances I've seen from a Hearts perspective for a long, long time. And what I mean by that is we did to Airdrie what Celtic and Rangers would do to the lesser teams in a cup competition.
Yeah, no, definitely. It was calm, it was assured, there was no, there was, how do I put it, there was urgency, but without the sort of frenetic sort of scrambling that you see sometimes against lower league opposition, but it was just comfortable. What was the first goal on 11 minutes or something like that? Dead early. I think there was a confidence right for the first minute that this is really, and again, being as cocksure as you like, not too much arrogance about it right enough, but they knew for the minute they stepped on the pitch it was only going to be a couple of minutes until they got the first goal. Like, you could see it. And as soon as that first goal came, that was it. They relaxed even more into it. And as I say, it was calm, professional, and just done what they needed to do. No dramas at all. Right in saying I don't think there was a yellow card shown in the game either, which is the first for a while.
And I think what you saw, the difference of, and again, I've said before, I know I've said on numerous podcasts that, Kilmarnock didn't come to Tynecastle and put 10 behind the ball, and St Johnstone didn't come to Tynecastle and put 10 behind the ball. But it does show you the difference from when Airdrie came and tried to play, and Hearts, it sounds really stupid to say, but Hearts were just, their play was just so much more mature than Airdrie's. Like, we countered their press so easily. We had numbers over all the time, and our passing out of the press was outrageous. Like, you'll not see us do it, for example, on Saturday versus Motherwell. You won't see Kyrowes, Kingsley or Halkett inside the 18-yard box taking the ball off Clark or Gordon on Saturday. You won't see that. But we saw it all game on Sunday because naively Airdrie engaged us there almost every single time with a by kick, and we had numbers every single position in the park, whether it went right or it went left. I thought Grant, Neuenhoff, Forrest, Vargas, Shankland were superb, and so was Benny. Like, they changed constantly. One dropped, one went, one came short, one went long. Constant triangles almost every area of the park. And at points, it reminded me of what it was like, a bit like when Robbie Nielsen's first in charge in the Championship season, where we were just fitter, braver, more aggressive in our tempo than any of the teams we played against. And the first goal is an absolute thing of beauty, isn't it?
I think you'll see from a team goal point of view. I don't think you'll see a better goal all season from us.
Yeah.
My only sort of bugbear about it was I really wanted Cochrane to put his laces through it, but he's done the right thing. You know, he's brought it in. I think he actually plays it in for Grant, and Grant was just warming himself up for his later miracle shot.
I've watched it. I watched it back, Kev. I would. We'll never know, but I'd bet my life that Shankland tells him to leave it. Because it makes sense for him to slide it in or whatever, but I think Shankland's behind him, and we've seen Shankland with Grant before with his curling effort into the goal against Aberdeen, etc. He's swatted Grant away a couple of times for chances, and I think Shankland is screaming for that ball, and Grant's left it for him. But
it's the best team goal I've seen since the one that Pinilla scored at with Audrey.
mate, I love that.
It was brilliant, honestly. There was like 6 players in the box waiting to tap it in. Like the amount of players that ran forward. If Shankland had missed it, which sounds ridiculous, any number of players could have scored. Forrest, Grant, who else was up there? Apart from Shankland, Cochrane could have shot as well. I think there was 2 other players. I'm told. Vargas as well.
Vargas, yep.
Yeah.
Has Corbett paid you to say that, mate?
The thing is, what I'm fast forwarding to Motherwell. I've been impressed. I was impressed when we were at Dundee with the numbers that we got into the box. Like we were the same at Dundee. We had options aplenty. Let's be interested to see if we can make that happen at Tynecastle, because we've been a bit stagnant at Tynecastle. Yeah, we've got the job done in some of the games, but in terms of creating chances and scoring goals, you expect how we play away from home to almost be how we're at Tynecastle. Do you know what I mean? Bodies absolutely busting a gut to get into the box to try and take chances, and like you said, when you freeze it, when the ball makes its way to Cochrane, Grant, Vargas, Shankland, Neuenhoff, every single one, they're all there.
Mm-hmm.
They're all there looking for a goal, which was class to see. And we had loads of situations like that, loads of them. The Forest one, where the keeper, it went through his arms and went out for a corner. The build-up play to that was absolutely sensational. I was feeling like Gordon all the way up. A couple of the Vargas chances as well, and a couple of times we managed to get Dexter down the right. Again, maybe the only, if the right even is a negative, which it probably isn't, it was the only slight area of the park where I didn't think we were full 10 out of 10, was probably doing that right-hand side way, Dexter. But I thought the first goal and the way we started the game was brilliant. We took the sting out of the tie completely, and like you said, by what, minute 21 or something, 23, we were 3-0 up, something like that. The pass from Halkett to Vargas is outrageous, isn't it?
It's a cruise missile, like a pass. Like it was just like superb targeting, and it's just landed.
Only ruined by Neil McCann's horrible analogy of it, referring it to it like
what did he call it?
Super Bowl. He's talked about Super Bowl, didn't he? Said it was a quarterback pass or something. I was like, get him on mute immediately. Get him on mute immediately. I don't want to be hearing none of that shit.
You're so easily triggered by other sports, man.
Craig Halkett had it and went, he's going downtown. That's what he had when he launched it forward. Like, he's in the end zone.
Did you watch the Super Bowl on Sunday, Corbett?
No, I did not. What did you say, Darren?
I think that pass was a proper get out of jail card for Halkett, because that was the one where he had was Lembagisa wasn't at his best. Halkett had a few slips and a few moments, and then he played that pass 5 minutes later, and everything was forgotten on the spot.
Well, he had two, because he played the one where Vargas took a heavy touch with I think he headed it just a wee bit too far in front of him. That was another one, an absolute belter of a pass right in, split the defence right onto Vargas. He had Grant and Shankland pretty much to his side if he could have got the ball under control or whatever. But I thought Hearts played really well. I said
Hearts at the weekend.
What was that? Sorry.
Do you think Halkett starts at the weekend? I think they might take him out.
Yeah, I think he's well, he went off injured, didn't he? So
That's not like him.
I'm assuming that they'll probably just keep him in cotton wool. Rills is back, Kingsley's there, Kent was on the bench, etc., etc. So I don't think we'll risk Halkett. It's one of those ones where he has to be eased back in. We rushed him back last season, and I think he's never really fully recovered for how quickly we tried to get him back into the team. He was taking injections and all that stuff to play, even though he was injured, and I think it's sensible stuff. So I don't think we'll see him. I don't think we'll see him on at the weekend. What? Here's the question though. What do we do goalkeeper wise? Is Gordon? Because again, we're at a point now where we're playing that well. You give Gordon the cup games, but well, Gordon goes on to win the cup. That's not very fair on Xander Clark, is it? He has to play the games that secure us third, and Gordon gets to lift a trophy. It's a strange battle.
It's just the way it is, isn't it? At the moment, I mean, personally myself, I'd rather see Gordon there for every game. If I'm being honest, I just feel you got your back three, back four, just feel more confident with them, and I would prefer. And we've spoken about it enough times, Corbett. And know that, does Gordon save that one that Clark lets in against Dundee, for example? All these kind of things come into that equation, don't it?
No. Well, here's another question, right? I don't know if we've covered this, which is, right, obviously it's all beer and skittles just now and everything's cool, and Hearts are winning and playing well. Imagine that wasn't the case. What would we be doing? Would we be persisting with Xander, or would we have Gordon back in because he's a safer pair of hands? And this is a wee bit of an element of, well, the sun shines on a Doug's arse some of the time, and until Xander actually screws up, we're going to keep him there.
It is a weird one. Because if it was any other area of the park, because Gordon is still world class, you don't sit with a world class defender, midfielder, or striker on the bench hoping that Tagawa underperforms or makes a mistake. You replace them. As soon as they're fit, and as soon as they say I'm ready and can play gaffer, you chuck them in. But with Gordon, the thing is that Clark is more than good enough in the league. Yeah, he's not Craig Gordon, but by the measure of Liam Kelly, for example, who's probably potentially in the argument for going to the Euros, he had an absolute nightmare against Morton, and he looks terrible every time I see him. But what do we do for the long term? Craig Gordon's no got 2, 3, 4 seasons in him. So you either if we start playing, in my opinion, we start playing Gordon now, you're essentially saying, hey Clark, find a new club, because you're not going to be the number one. And I think Hearts see him as the number one, the future number one. If he performs and does well, plays with Scotland, you could get 10 years out of Clark, etc. if he plays the same time as Gordon. But then obviously we know we love Craig Gordon, and Craig Gordon's a machine, and when he's called into action 9 times out of 10 he'll make the save. So I suppose it's a good headache to have. What's the solution? I've absolutely no idea. Do I think Craig Gordon will start on Saturday? Nope. I think Xander Clark will start. Is that right? Don't know. If Hearts win, do I care? Nope. What you said, Darren?
I'm totally in love with Craig Gordon, but I think it is actually right that Xander Clark does, because looking at the longer term, Xander Clark would have every right to say, look at the season I've had. Why should I go and sit on the bench at his age? He's wanting to go to the Euros as well. And I think that probably the biggest factor in it is how professional Craig Gordon is. I think he's obviously wants to play, wants to be in that Euros, but he's got more chance of getting to the Euros being on the bench for Hearts than Xander Clark does.
Yeah. And I said that before, that I think when he got injured or Xander Clark went down against St Johnstone, like I've said before, obviously everybody lost their mind and we celebrated like we'd won 10 in a row. But the first person over to make sure that Clark was alright was Gordon. Like, I'm right there. I'm like row 3 of Section X right behind the goal. And Gordon was the first person there, like, "Are you alright?" type thing. And you know that Craig Gordon isn't going to be in the background chapping Nazy's door saying, "Drop him, play me," etc., etc. Like, I think you're right. If it was roles reversed and Xander Clark sitting on the bench for Hearts, it instantly kills any opportunity of him going to the Euros. Whereas Steve Clark, I think, probably still gives Gordon the call. But I've told you before, I'm more convinced that Gordon will go to the Euros than Shankland will, just because of how weird Steve Clark is and how determined Scotland are to make me hate them. They'll probably take Shea Adams and some guy that's got a English granny, and Shankland will have to watch it on the telly.
I think I saw a stat that the four other Scotland strikers, between them, have scored 2 more goals than Shankland.
Aye,
Like all 4 of them combined.
Aye, I seen that. Let's say that. Being in my hearts, I would love Gordon, Clark and Shankland to just have the summer off. a summer of spending it rooming with some nut job for Rangers telling them how much money you can get playing at Ibrox. Nah,
Well, there's also there is that as well, but then I think Shankland, if he doesn't go to the Euros, I think Shankland puts his foot down and says, right, I want to move to a bigger club so I can play for my country. That's the downside to not being picked. But I think the fact that he's been in and out of the squads and a last minute pick in the recent squads, I think that's what's keeping him at Hearts at the moment, because he knows going anywhere else there's going to be a risk to that.
Aye. Like you say, if he keeps scoring goals, you'd have to be an absolute psychopath not to take him to the Euros. Like, he's an absolute joke. What did he score his 25th goal of the season on Sunday? Was it 25th? 27 or something?
24th, aye.
24th.
24th, about the Scotland goal 25 as well.
We don't count the Scotland goal. We don't have, obviously, a resident Scotland fan on tonight because he's dealing with some personal stuff, but he you made a point there about Shankland rooming with someone from Rangers. Is there that many Rangers folk in the Scotland squad at the moment?
There'll be enough, mate. Even if they're no players, mate. Physios, goalie coaches, sports scientists, everybody, mate. Everybody. I told you before, you know the story. Mm-hmm. My mate roomed with someone every single time he went away with Scotland until Rangers were interested, and suddenly had a new roommate, facilitated by the manager and the assistant manager to help Rangers out. Like, it's crazy. It's absolutely bananas how they do it. I was laughing if he's listened to or watched the Overlap, the Gary Neville podcasty type thing. He tells a story about how Alex Ferguson made him go in and ask Steven Gerrard if Steven Gerrard would sign for Man United for Liverpool. Happens all the time. It's actual crazy. It's crazy. But
that's what
back to
Ryan Jack.
Ryan Jack, yep. John Souttar will probably go because he's just playing for Rangers is enough to get you a call up, probably. But back to the football. So, the Hoff, he's growing into a player, isn't he?
I'd say so. I think in the last, Robert, I think in the last 3-4 games, I think we've started to see the player that he probably was in Australia. And he's just taken a little bit of time to understand what the Scottish game's about, the sort of more physical element and aspect of it, plus get up to speed, because he didn't have a pre-season, did he? So these kind of things just take time. He's got a run in the team now as well, which makes a massive difference. The last 3 or 4 games, he's definitely been a much better player.
You see his interview when he says there's 2 things Jambos love: winning trophies and beating Hibs. I was like, see that guy a lifetime contract, that's enough. That's I'm an easy date, like that's how you get your way into my heart. That's all you've got to say.
Where did they say that?
He did it after the game at Airdrie. He was talking to Heart Standard or something like that, and he said it.
Excellent. All for that chat.
Which is decent. Again, actually, if I was to level any criticism at the midfield from Sunday, even though Hoff scored an absolute belter, they had so many opportunities to shoot. Benny, Grant, Hoff, and they kept. I get it. The whole point is, you recycle the ball and keep it, and you could get a better chance, hit a shot, and you lose possession, etc., etc. But every shot that Hoff's hit, he scored. Do you know what I mean? And I know Grant absolutely fresh air swiped it, but there's loads of opportunities, especially Benny. The thing that annoys me with Benny is, he's not even going to shoot. And that's starting to I don't know if that's half the reason why the space is opening up for Neuenhoff, where he knows that he's going to get the opportunity to shoot because they didn't believe for a second that they're going to shoot. But
Forrest also had one like that. Shankland did a lovely back heel second half. And you see the replay. I thought it was a penalty, to be honest, when I first saw it. But no, he kicked the ground. He toe poked the ground and he just totally ballooned over the bar.
I seen it. I was obviously the other side of the ground, so at the time I thought it looked like a penalty, and then obviously I've watched it back and see that he kicks the turf or whatever. But I've been really impressed with Hoff. I told you before that watching him sign autographs for Leeds, and he looked like he was towing a caravan. I was like, oh my god, what do we have here? But he's slowly but surely found a game, and again, it's why I think Neil Warnock will be exactly what Aberdeen need for the rest of the season. I think he'll make things simple. He'll give the players simple messages. He'll set them up in a simple way, and he'll ask them to go the simple things to a high standard. And since we got scudded by Celtic at home, I think Naismith's where he deserves the most praise for that is he has simplified all that stuff. I don't think we're now trying to be fancy. We're not trying to set up in a shape that doesn't suit the players that are there. And guys like Hoff and Forrest, Vargas, they're all benefiting from it. I think even I've been impressed with Dexter at home to Dundee on his debut or whatever. We were playing free at the back, and him and Cochrane were obviously wing backs, and it was highly entertaining. And we managed to win 3-2, but he was massively exposed defensively, and we changed it. We went to 4, and we've been 4 ever since, and we've looked pretty solid.
I think the 4 at the back has helped Hoff as well.
Yeah, same.
Because they have much more defined roles in midfield. Whereas I think when we were playing 3 at the back, he was sitting back a lot more. He was trying to be that second sort of number 6 almost.
Yep.
Whereas now it's square pegs and square holes, and you're letting the guy do what he's capable of doing.
Yep. And you're letting Benny do what he wants to do as well. As we go forward, Benny almost makes it a back three with Halkett and Kingsley or whoever is there. He sits, which means Dexter and Cochrane can go forward. Yep. It means that Hoff's got numbers there as well. Do you know what I mean? So it's working. But Hoff's been good. I liked his interview. He talked about, first and foremost, you've got to go win the ball. You've got to fight. You've got to have desire, and then if you can get your foot on the ball and play passes, etc., that's what fans like to see, and it's exactly true. That's Forrest, Vargas, and Hoff. They're not winning us over by being Paul Hartley or Rudy or doing scintillating stuff. They're doing the best that they've got. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes it's not enough, but fans appreciate that. We talked about it in the community chat today about Barry Mackay coming back. I'm excited to see Barry Mackay come back because, one, he's got all the talent in the world. We all know that. Barry Mackay could be one of the best players that we have. But two, we know I know that Naismith won't play him. It won't allow him to be off or nothing. You'll get the Tagawa Oda treatment. If you're not balls to the wall, 100 mile an hour, give us everything that you've got, drenched in sweat, you won't play. And that's, if we were all to sit here and say, what do we wish we could get Murphy for Barry Mackay, it would probably be that. Just want to see him with dirty shorts and a bit of sweat on his forehead every now and again. So it's exciting to see where he could come back.
Where do you think Devlin fits in now?
Well, see, the weird thing with Devlin is that he's the he gives you all that. He gives you all that stuff. But I think what Naismith will be saying to him is, for you, that's not enough. We need some quality. Like, you need to make the right passes. You need to add goals. You need to get into the right areas of the park, etc. Because we know with Devlin that he's going to give you everything that he's got. He's going to run about. He's got to tackle. He's got to do the right stuff. But where Hoff is different, Hoff runs about and tackles. But how many times you watched Hoff and thought, oh, he's got to get a centre half, or he's got to get a booking here, or he's got to... I said Barry Robson made the mistake at Tynecastle as soon as Graham Shinnie got booked, because he should have took Graham Shinnie off. Because as soon as Graham Shinnie's booked, what you ask him to do, what he's good at doing, he's done, because he's on a booking. So he can't pull you back. He can't get in the ref's face. He can't argue back. He can't kick the ball away or stand in front of a free kick. He can't slide into a tackle, because you'll get sent off. So you ruin everything that's good about him. And there's a bit of that with Devlin, and I know all the Devlin lovers will be coming out saying he's got three less bookings in Shankland or whatever. We all know what we're talking about. We've all been there when Cammy's dived into a tackle or done something, and we all went, "Oh no!" Like here we go. And again, am I right in saying we're now still we're in February and we still haven't had a red card?
Yeah, correct.
So, you look at where we're playing. We can't have liabilities. We can't have liabilities, and I'm not saying that Cammy is a liability, but they're good headaches to have, aren't they? Like,
how many red cards we get last season? Was it not like quite a lot? We were like one of the worst.
Cochrane himself was getting sent off every other week.
I'll need to check, but I want to say it was 4 all in. Let me just check. But
Cochrane got sent off twice in the last 4 games of the season.
Like Devlin, even though he's not been playing, he still is the highest offender. He's got 9 yellow cards so far this season, and he's only played, I think, 10 games or something daft like that. But I don't know exactly.
So we've no other red card. We've no conceded from a corner or like a set play the whole season.
So roll on Saturday.
Leave this chat till June.
Aye, sorry, I shouldn't say that before the weekend.
Roll on Saturday. Unbelievable. But aye, it's a good headache to have, Robert. I don't know where Devlin fits into it all.
Wait a minute, that can't be right. How many red cards do you think we had last season?
I thought it was 6.
Well,
Devlin got sent off.
It's a lot.
At Rangers for Tynecastle. The 2 Cochrane ones. Did we not get a man sent off at St Mirren?
Did you
Snodgrass got sent off as well.
I'll give you the list in in ascending order. Lewis Nielsen got sent off. So did Ross Stewart. So did Ginelli, Haring, Kyrolls, Devlin, Snodgrass, Sibic, and Shankland, all with 1 red card each. 2 for George Grant. Aye. 2 for George Grant and 4 for Alex Cochrane.
So how many altogether?
15.
2 of them must have came in the altercation at the end of the season at Hibs.
Aye.
So Cheesy got sent off for the bench and at the Derby handbags.
Did you just say 15?
15. Was, according to London Hearts. Now, I don't know if that is competitive. I'd imagine that's competitive games and not, like somebody gets sent off in a friendly, because you never get sent off in a friendly because it doesn't
matter. Last season?
You do.
Our game got abandoned last season.
It got abandoned for
Oh, that's right, for fighting in...
Was that not Cochrane as well?
No, that was 2 seasons ago, was it not?
I don't know.
Nah, last winter break.
We played Union Deportiva Almeria.
World Cup break.
That's right.
Game was abandoned at half time.
Was that not because of Cochrane as well?
I'm just checking. But
we must be trying to safeguard and get a free entry into the... Remember you got the entry into the Europa League or whatever it was called, the Conference League for Fair Play.
Oh, it was the Intertoto Cup.
Aye, that was right, aye.
You had the least amount of... Because like that wee nonsense team for 5, what they call Dunfermline, they not get into it one season because they... there's something
the Leaf Globetrotters got in it one season as well with wee Pat Fenlon.
That's right.
They were sending baskets of muffins to folks saying sorry that we upset you. Wee Bed Bath and Beyond hampers. Oh, we're sorry.
Amazing. Alex Cochrane did get sent off against Almeria, so yes.
There you go.
Well, there we go. But I know 71 bookings so far this season, 0 red cards. So
Who
a
did
lot
we end
better
up?
than last.
Devlin, that's how.
Yeah.
Devlin 9, Shankland 7, Newenoff, Cochrane, Rolls, Atkinson, and Vargas all in 5, and then there's a whole load of people in less than that. But yeah, Devlin by far and away.
Yeah, I thought we were very, very, very professional on Sunday, which was great to see. But like I said, Dexter is probably, though we've obviously tried to cover him defensively so that he's not a risk to us in a defensive sense, and we've kind of sucked the life out of him in an attacking sense. He just doesn't seem to have the same impact on the games as how he started. Anybody got any different thoughts, or what's your thoughts on how Dexter is now in the team?
Go.
Personally, I think he looks unfit at times. He looks really good going forward, and I know that he did actually play up front in his youth career. The coming back, he looks very lethargic. He looks a little bit heavy in the legs in regards to tracking back at times. I think that was he got caught out of position against Dundee last Saturday. So he does sometimes just look a little bit just unfit. But I like him as a player. I think what he gives you going forward, if we're looking to play him in that kind of position, I think he brings a hell of a lot to the team, which is great. I won't be on his back, let's put it that way.
It's a weird one because, again, the mirror to how he performs is how Cochrane performs, because they play in different sides. And I just think Cochrane offers, obviously Cochrane outside the Shankland for me is the best player that we have.
Caveat.
But I think you look at all the goals, I think Cochrane's involved pretty much in every single one of them. He's always there, he's always an option. And although Dexter just seems to have lost that bit of, he was taking on his man, he was firing crosses in left, right and centre. He just, I don't know, I just didn't see him doing that as much just now. I don't know if he's just focusing purely on the defensive side.
You always say, right, that nothing happens on a football park unless it's... Oh, well, no, nothing, but you have said this in the past, that obviously everything happens and it's down to hurdles. Do you think there's maybe an element of the first couple of games he was just maybe given the licence, go out, show us what you can do? Because, let's be honest, you've seen him in training, or Naismith and Cole have seen him in training, but it's not until you actually see him in a real live game situation. Do you think he's maybe just been told, wind it back a wee bit? Because he's now played 6 games. And I think for the first couple of games, to what Kev said, I loved the sight of him. I thought he's trying all sorts of things, but as you say, he's now been maybe strangled a wee bit.
Yeah, and listen, there's no criticism. I think if we were to play him every game for the rest of the season, I think he's 6, 7 out of 10 every game. It was just more the fact that he was so sort of adventurous the first couple of games, and now he's a bit more reserved. And when you look at Cochrane on the other side, Cochrane does both pretty well. Atkinson's obviously now back from the Asia Cup. Be interesting to see how that plays out, because I really like Atkinson. I think Atkinson's probably, before he went to the Asia Cup, was probably one of the most improved players under Naismith. What were you going to say, Robert?
I think the thing with Cochrane that you didn't see with Lembikisa so much is Cochrane's always very composed. Lembikisa, there's a lot of raw energy there, and he gets up and he will shell crosses in, or he'll take on the man. But there's no a lot at the end. Whereas you watch Cochrane and he tends to go up and create chances. So maybe they're trying to change what Lembikisa actually does, as opposed to it just being get up and fire it into the box, to try and make it more of a this is how we're trying to play. This is the style we're trying to adopt. So rather than just launching it in, try and pick out the man, try and bring somebody else into the game.
Aye, that's a fair point. That's fair. And like I said, there are good headaches to have, because again, I don't think we're no arguing about Soa versus fucking Strana or whatever. Like, these are actual, these are good headaches to have, and they're good headaches all over the park. If you look, probably arguably other than Shankland, because Tagawa just looks an empty shell right this very second. I think we spoke about it in the podcast last week potentially about it's going to be however Naismith manages him over the next while will determine whether or not he's got a future at Hearts, etc. But you're looking at a team that, all of them coming on Sunday probably were eyes bulging, thinking I could get a goal here. Like, I'm gonna get in the score sheet, and Tagawa kind of just drifted, stayed pretty wide. Shankland was berating him the whole second half to come closer, to go beyond, and then at one point the actual switched as well. Shankland went and played a bit wider and put Tagawa through the middle. Just one of those things. Sometimes it clicks for players, sometimes it doesn't. You can tell the boy's just very, very low in confidence or whatever. So hopefully he needs a game at home where we're 3 or 4-0 up. You can get him on for 10, 15 minutes at the end of the game, and hope a Vargas or a Forrest or somebody can go and create something for him and try and get him a bit of confidence, because he's obviously got the ability, but it's just a confidence thing for me.
Well, we've got plenty of time to get up to speed, because his contract expires on the end of May 2027.
Yeah.
So we've got him for a few years. So if we kind of get a tune out of him at some stage, then God knows what will happen. But I don't know. I agree with you. I think bring him on when you're well ahead and there's no risk. But then that happened on Sunday. He never really took any opportunities, really, did he? He didn't really show anything in any spells of the game that I was impressed with. He was just a player on the park taking up space that I thought could have been better utilised.
He had flashes on Sunday where he did alright. There was a point where he beat his man and cut inside, and he hit a shot, but it was pretty tame, rolled into the keeper's hand. But it's that understanding of how the team plays that you only build and get by playing. We used to talk about it before. Forrest and Gino, or Shankland and Gino, or Boyce and Shankland would make the same runs. That's that thing where actually they need to play with each other for a while to realise actually that's the run he'll make, so I'll peel off and I'll go here. And that's right this very second when things go wrong for you, where everything going right for Shankland. There was times where Tagawa made the run, put his head down and absolutely bolted for the ball, and it never, the play went to the other side of the park naturally. I think his understanding of how the game was developing probably could get better. He comes short when we go long. There was a couple of times where I think Dexter played him in and he wasn't there. And it was like, so it's a tough one. It's a tough one because he won't build any of that stuff up unless he plays, but then you're not going to drop Shankland to play him. And if you're a goal up on Saturday, for example, at home in Motherwell, you're not going to bring him on and risk dropping 3 points. So Tagawa's just going to be one of those ones that I said he's probably going to have to be for the future, because everybody else right now seems to be on an absolute tune. Rouse and Atkinson slipped back into the team effortlessly on Sunday, to the point that actually half the folk I was standing with didn't even realise that Rouse had came on. I'm like, what's Halkett? I'm like, he went over about 17 minutes into the game or something like that.
We start early on Sunday, did they?
Aye. Well, it was a big game. It was a big day, Kev. It was a big day. So, obviously, won comfortably in the end. Shankland's second's a joke as well. It's just his finishing repertoire is outstanding. Put the keeper on his arse and dinked him. Is just, and that comes from who he is. The goalkeeper's fought himself in knots, didn't know what to do, didn't know where to come and spread himself at his feet, didn't know whether to stay big, and just ended up not really doing anything and getting the ball dinked in him, because he knows that Shankland could take it around him and slip it in. He could bend it into the top bag, he could power it through him, peg him, and he just dinked him. It's unbelievable. What a player.
52 and 80 now, eh?
What was that?
52 and 80 for him.
Exactly that.
It's
spot
a joke,
on.
Man.
Mad.
Did you see his interview on the BBC afterwards?
I've not seen it yet.
It's no. Go
I told
back
you,
and
he
watch
said
it.
Super Bowl and quarterback. I turned off. I'm never watching this again.
That's what you pay a licence fee for. That's the journalism you're getting.
Allegedly.
Well, there you go. His interview was class, because I think he gets asked the question. Stevie Thompson says, "Oh, do you go into every game just thinking you're going to score?" And he's like, "Aye, I do." Right, it's a straightforward answer to the question. Aye, I think I do. And it's not a case of if he's going to score. It's what kind of goal am I going to score today? Like, so it's going to be scoring with his arse next.
Aye, like you said, there'll be. Can you see any other outcome other than him scoring more than 30 in the season? There was points on Sunday where, if I was to be really critical, I'd have liked to have seen him go get a hat trick. But the player that he is, there was loads of times where he tried to slip in Forrest. There was times where he was looking for Tagawa. You could see the team was like itching to try and get Tagawa a chance rather than Shankland the hat trick. And I suppose that's a measure of the guy as to where he is. Like, you can tell that he loves playing for Hearts. Like, I know that sounds pure cheesy or whatever, but you genuinely can tell he absolutely loves what he's doing. He loves where he is. He loves the headspace that he's in. And obviously, why would you know, scoring every single game, and he's the absolute main man. We spoke 2 hours last week about how much we love Lawrence Shankland. It became a weekly feature at this rate because he's just an absolute machine. So obviously, Hearts progressed. We're now into the quarterfinals. We are away to Morton. Have the game's been confirmed yet? A Friday night, Sunday?
Nothing
yet.
Reported yet.
But the weekend of the 9th of March, though, I think that much is set in stone. But I think I've got that right.
No.
But
don't be Saturday. My little cousin's getting married on the 9th.
It'll be the Friday night. I bet it'll be the Friday night for us.
Well, that'll do me. That's fine.
Friday night, like quarter to 8 kickoff. That'll do us.
That was St Mirren last time we got to. Oh, we got to Hampden last year too, didn't we? No, we got beat by Celtic last year. The one before, wasn't it? We played St Mirren on a Friday. No, it was a Saturday night, wasn't it?
Saturday night, 6 o'clock or something like that.
Oh, aye.
Aye, because it was brilliant, because everybody was absolutely steaming. It was class.
Was it 4-2?
It was 2-0 to us, then 2 each.
Aye.
They had the guy. Remember the guy we were always linked with, the boy for Wolves.
Scored a didn't he?
Scored an belter.
Connor Sutton. No.
He was at Wolves as well, wasn't he?
Was it? Aye. What was his name again? I can't remember his name.
You're thinking of Ronan, but I don't think it was him.
But I know,
was Connor Ronan.
That's it. Yeah.
Scored an absolute peach. So
he's Irish.
Good player. I don't know where he is now though, because he's not playing for anybody. I know he was supposed to go to Aberdeen, was he not?
No idea.
Don't know where he is actually.
no clue.
Nah, and we don't care. We don't care. No one needs to figure that out. No one gives a shit. Doesn't play for Hearts. That's all that matters.
Exactly.
I suppose we'll probably have to be happy with that as a draw, won't we?
Well, if you think about it, just on, like, I know it's away from home, but you're increasing your chances by going up against so-called lower league opposition. You've avoided Aberdeen, you've avoided Rangers and Celtic, and by virtue of the fact that you've avoided them, they're now going to have to face tougher opposition, and there's more chance of them screwing up. So if you're looking to get your name on the cup, you have to take the path of least resistance. You didn't want to be playing big guns in the quarters, and then again in the semi, and then again in the final. Hopefully you just want to limit your exposure to that. So yes, it's a good draw. You can't really say otherwise.
We're at that weird place where we want, if we're not winning it, we want Celtic or Rangers to win it.
Exactly.
So
it's a nonsense. It's the whole thing's a nonsense. Letting the Scottish Cup winners take the best prize, getting into Europe when it's a short competition. It should be the team that's finished third in the league. I mean, I don't understand the logic behind it. It doesn't make any sense. But
well, it's the SFA that decide that, so it's not even mandated by UEFA or whatever. The SFA in their infinite wisdom, because they want to make that competition as prestigious as possible, have attached this prize to it. And it's shit.
It's crazy. I mean, Cali Thistle could have been playing Europa League. What was it last season? I can't mind who it was. But
yeah, that's right. They got beat 3-1 in the final.
Aberdeen at home was the practice run in the draw.
Or was
That's what
it?
we would have got in the
Was
practice run. I held on the scarves around the funnel today. That's what they were saying. They said it was Aberdeen at home. So
And the thing is, if the draw had taken place after the actual game on Sunday, we would have got Celtic
All right.
Because the numbers would have been different.
because of the numbers would have been different because it came out as Airdrie or Hearts versus. So
Weird.
all right, there you go.
Who sat and
Weirdly.
worked
So
that
we've
out,
done-
man? That's the kind of thing that I'd
I
probably
read
do.
it. I
But
read it
I'm
on Twitter.
not
mate.
even going
I read
that
it on
far.
Twitter. I read that
Fucking
one
hell.
on Twitter.
But it is a weird thing. Obviously, we are third right now, so we are kind of hoping that we have someone either us, Celtic, or Rangers win the cup. That's the way it is. So hopefully Rangers take care of the Globetrotters. Aberdeen are up against it with Kilmarnock, but ideally we would like them to get put out as well. But you're right. The only thing I would say was that the weather for the Motherwell game, it looked awful. Like when we were talking about how good the AstroTurf looked for Airdrie, Morton's pitch looks like an absolute tatty field. So it'll be an interesting game considering how we like to play and where we like to go. Allocation will be a strange one. I think people keep posting things saying that Motherwell only were allocated 3,000 tickets, but the away end of allocation is meant to be 3,600. But there's something stopping Motherwell being able to get that. So God knows what we'll
Don't have
take.
any more than 3,000 fans.
Who knows? Who knows?
Because it.
Boys are.
Oh, you dropped out a bit there, mate.
The Well boys are boring. They don't add anything. Maybe that's part of it.
That's true. Right, talk amongst yourselves. I'm going for a tam.
Fucking hell.
There
It's
he
gone
goes.
for. Right, okay. I think I meant. Never mind. I was going to say, Capo, is it. I don't know if I'm making this up. Someone might have posted it in the community chat that it holds 11,000.
11,500, I think it was.
That's mental. It doesn't look anything like that when you. Like, I watched bits of the game on Friday. I didn't watch the full thing, but the very little I did see, like, you just didn't get the impression that it's an 11,000 seater
It's
Is
ground.
standard,
it
isn't it?
terracing? Is it?
Aye, it's
'cause it
terracing,
looked like it was
so-
terracing, aye.
Aye, there's parts of it are terracing, which I think is why they actually even now they still restrict the actual numbers that can go in, is because there's only one part which is seated, I think, which is behind one of the goals. The rest of it's standing.
Aye.
See,
I've not been in it, I must admit, for many years, but it was fun doing it at that point. I'd hope they've done a wee bit more to it since then.
it's a ground I've
we
never
played
been
in
to.
the championship season, but obviously there was there was no fans. It was during COVID. Did we not? We played them there, did we not? I'm sure
We did, aye.
Yeah, we would have played
Aye.
them twice.
Beat them 3-1 or something like that, I think.
Aye, that was the one that Jamie Walker, remember, you ripped the piss at him, Corbett, because he went to try and I can't remember how he done it. It was more like it came off his studs or something like
Aye, he
that.
scored.
He said he meant
scored,
it.
Aye, he scored 2, Jamie Walker, didn't he? But one of them was an absolute belter, and it was by pure and utter accident. But aye. An interesting tie. Hopefully we get a decent thing when it's not on the Saturday, because I really want to go, and it's my little cousin's wedding, so
But
I'm already missing the Edinburgh Derby. This will be the first time in my whole entire life I don't attend an Edinburgh Derby in a season, which I'm absolutely devastated about.
why are you missing the Edinburgh Derby?
It's my wife's birthday on the 28th of February.
That's allowed. That's fine. For everybody likes a quiet home life, and you can be completely forgiven for that. However, what I can't abide is the fact that you're going to a wee cousin's wedding. A cousin doesn't even matter, man. They're not even real family. They're just folk you know. You can get away with not
No, we
going
just
to
turn
that.
up at night.
Well, as you know, I've got a pure hillbilly family, so it probably is in some way, shape or form my brother.
You can't speak about Bill like that. It's not fair. I love Bill.
So we'll be that's on the Saturday. So, and obviously Hibs only going to make the top 6, so I'm definitely only have 3 Edinburgh derbies this season. And whatever happens, please, I cannot not Hibs at Hampden. I can't.
Oh, they're not getting past Rangers. Rangers are
No,
stuck
but
them.
even just
Oh,
my
again, my
personal
age.
thing, I can't handle it. I'll not be able to handle it.
I think I've been at Hibs with you the last twice we've played them at Hampden, and I don't think I can handle it either. Just watching the pain that you go through it's torturous.
I'm not joking, you're right. On Sunday, even at 3-0, whenever Airdrie got close to our box, I did this. And then the one time that I didn't do it, they scored for a header. So I was like, I told you. I was like, no, it's just superstition. I've got to do it every single time they get near the box or they're going to score. So I spent about 75% of the game like that while we were 4-1 up against Airdrie. So you can imagine what it's like at Hampden.
Basket case, man.
You can put
Absolutely.
the picture in. You can put the picture in the community chat, Ando. I'm sure you've got numerous photos of the back of my head staring at my trainers.
Hundreds of them, man.
21
Genuinely.
minutes into the semi-final at Hampden.
And see, the thing is, I know it's ancient history, right? But I don't remember you being like that at the 5-1 game.
Well, at the 5-1 game, I was drunk. Remember, I was out my nut and had a broken leg.
You had 2 broken legs, I think.
That's true.
Did you not have 2 broken smashed kneecaps or whatever it was?
No, just
that was
one of
wrong
them.
with you? Was it one?
No, just one of them. Remember?
Those were the days.
That was
Corbett
the
used to
good
get
old days, wasn't it?
pissed. It was great
That was
fun,
the
man.
good That was when I was bored of how quiet the pub was at 10:15 in the morning that we made someone climb out the window and go buy like 8 litres of vodka.
And then handballing it in through that window,
Aye,
right, so we
drinking
couldn't
it
walk
through the
through the
window.
front door
Okay.
with it. That was class, man. That was the best day of my life.
It was fun. So,
Aye.
Hearts, Motherwell Saturday. Motherwell are a strange team because obviously I think that was their first defeat in 2024, was it? Potential.
Yeah, I think you might be right because they've kind of turned a wee bit of a corner since the start of the shit weather.
Yeah,
The last away game they won was Tynecastle.
aye, brilliant. So we're
Sorry
getting
about
sent
that.
off,
Sorry,
getting
Kev.
beat, and they're scoring for a corner. Aye, well, mate. You can join us next week or not. But aye, I'll be interested. It'll be one of those things where everything seems to click and fall into place for us right this very second. We're due a good home performance. I think we've done well in spells at home. 45 minutes here to rescue games, etc., etc. It'd be good to see from the off just high intensity, go straight at them. Because again, it's one of those ones where if you score early, I think Motherwell crumble at Tynecastle. If I'm being honest, they look very, very sheepish in terms of just beat off lower league opposition in the cup away to Tynecastle. It's going to be one of those ones where if they concede early, they'll have to stick or twist. They'll either have to go 10 behind the ball and just hope for the best, like Livy did, or they'll have to open up and try and go get a result. And I think the latter plays into our hands massively.
Yeah, definitely. So on that, can I come?
No,
Fair enough.
no, you may not.
Right. Seriously, right? I know we're joking, but and I don't think I'm going to be there on Saturday anyway. But the following midweek, so was it? I thought, about a week today.
We're at
Hibs.
Rangers, are we not? The next home game after
Oh,
this
in fact,
one
yeah.
is
Sorry, I'm a week ahead of myself.
Hibs.
Aye, but then we got Hibs midweek, the following midweek, so it'll be a fortnight today, or a fortnight tomorrow. There's no way I'm missing that. So something needs to happen.
Well, Celtic's a few days after that as well.
Aye.
At home
So
as
after
well.
Saturday, I think we're Rangers, Hibs, Celtic, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're back to back, and Morton will be in there, sandwiched in between that as well. So I think Saturday will be. Hearts have been pretty good at sort of winning the next big important game, if you know what I mean. You lose to Motherwell, then you go into that run where you're both the old firm plus your rivals, where anything can happen. Hearts have been pretty decent at making sure they don't drop the ball type thing. So it'll be pretty interesting to see how we play on Saturday. I can't see Fraser starting. I was shocked. I think I said that to you that I seen even mentions on Kickback that Grant didn't have a good game on Sunday. I thought George Grant was brilliant on Sunday. Thought he made a massive difference. I actually thought when he came on at St Johnstone, he made a massive difference as well. I think for what we're trying to do, George Grant has to play. He sees passes that Some of our other midfielders don't. He runs into spaces. Some of our other midfielders don't. Yeah, he doesn't always have the best end product, and sometimes he can be guilty trying the spectacular every now and again, but he occupies the space well where he is. And I would, if we're picking now, I'd say that Grant starts on Saturday. Any other changes is anybody making for Saturday?
Ken
to come back, hopefully. Sorry.
Aye, no, that's right. I think that's what you said, Robert, wasn't it, Ken?
Yeah.
Aye. Shows you how he's been our best player outside of Shankland. Him, Cochrane, and Kent. Shankland have obviously been the best players, and we can drop him. And I even noticed that I was like, where is he? I didn't even notice that he wasn't even playing on Sunday till Halkett was going off, and then Riles came on, and I was like, actually, where the fuck is Kent? What's happening?
It's. I was going to be funny there, Cobb, but I'll not bother.
You're never funny, Kev. So
True that.
We'll keep it that way. We'll keep it that way. Right, do you want, for a laugh, would they score predictions for Saturday?
No, yours will be.
Well, mine is. I'll go first. 2
Go.
each.
2-1.
Kev.
I'll go 2-0. I'm going to 2-0 home victory.
It'll be 4-0 Hearts.
Ooh. Any other folk? Darren, Brad, you got a guess?
I'm going for a 0-0, I think.
What? Come on.
Yeah.
Definitely in the Corbett on the Corbett bus.
Yep.
Shankland score every week.
We it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see what we're up to. Right.
I think about a good 3-0. There you go.
Good for you. Good. That's
lad.
it, Brad. We
Good
like a bit
That's
of
what we
confidence.
Motherwell or Hearts.
Yeah.
3-0 to Hearts, of course.
Halliday hat-trick.
Sam Nicholson, possibly.
Oh, I forgot about Sam Nicholson.
Aye, me Sam.
Oh, that's right.
Halliday surely can't play because he's on loan.
I
isn't
know,
he?
I was kidding on. I was
He
waiting for
can't
somebody to be
All right.
I was we were talking about how much kickback winds me up earlier. Someone had put, there's like an ultras thread that talks about like where the song Nice One Cyril came from, and loads of arguing about what uniform the ultras should wear. But one of them said something about what are the words to the Stephen Naismith song. So I got annoyed with myself because I was like, right here. So I told them the words to it, and someone said, oh, here's a suggestion how to make it better, and it made it shiter. And I was like, no. I was like, we sung that song when he was a player, and then someone replied back saying he doesn't play for Hearts. Thanks, man.
Was the username Alistair Cruikshank?
Yeah, they thought
It was Tam.
Oh God.
The most pedantic thing ever. I was like, aye, thanks for the heads up, lads. Cheers. I'll just delete my account again. It's so hard not to get riled on that site, man. Cool. Anything else Hearts related that caught your eyes over the last wee while you want to talk about?
I was quite interested to see that there's been a possible summer friendly with Tenerife.
Aye. Was it for Suso's testimonial in it?
Aye. I'm looking at flights already. It sounds like a great 4-day trip.
Mate, I've just renewed my passport, so yes,
I'm not even
definitely
joking,
going to that.
We were building an extension this year on my house, and my wife was like, oh, we'll not go. We normally go on like a cruise or to America or something. She's like, we could go somewhere like Tenerife or something. And I scoffed at it. And now I know that, I might be like, Tenerife's a brilliant idea. Let's go to Tenerife. That sounds brilliant. Bye. Anything else?
Hotel's looking nice.
Oh, Dad, I was waiting for somebody to bring that up. When did it open at the weekend there? Oh,
The official opening's this Sunday, innit?
is it? I thought it was open already.
So, aye.
But I think the official opening. Well, the official opening might have been. I thought it was this weekend coming.
Budge is going to cut the ribbon on it.
Well, I'm at the Federation of Hearts Supporters Club thing on Sunday. It's an all-day event. Stephen Naismith will be there, so will the players. So I'm going to ask Stephen Naismith what the hell do I need to do to get him to come and clap me. I sang his stupid fucking song for 15 minutes on Sunday. their drummer was going to have a heart attack. He just kept saying, just keep going, just keep going. As he stood and spoke to Reese McCabe or whatever, I was like, he's got to come over. He's on the pitch. We've been singing the song for 25 minutes. He'll come over. And then he finished his conversation and left. And I was like, "Argh!" So that's the first thing I'll be asking him when I see him on Sunday. Why do you hate me?
Yeah, they'll bring out a list as long as your arm.
Again,
That's why it's an.
Both fair.
It's why it's
Yeah.
an all-day event. He'd be like, remember when you said this? Remember when you said this?
Three baldy terrorists. Football terrorists.
Love it.
That's all.
Enjoy that, mate. Enjoy that.
That's all a good laugh, innit?
It is.
It's all a good laugh.
Well, we can laugh just now because everything's rosy. So,
Exactly. Well, how many points are we in front of Commandlick?
I'll tell you now.
12.
12.
13 behind the top of the table.
What are
Yeah.
you trying to do this? What are you trying to do? That shoot at you. What are you doing?
I'm just
What
saying.
are you doing? I liked you better when you were in bushes. The whole season's going to come crashing down because you kind of keep your mouth shut. Anything else you want to ruin? Shankland will
saying
break
nothing.
his leg on Saturday. That's honestly,
Stop it.
that was running through my mind on Wednesday with that banner. We'd obviously sneaked the banner in, we'd painted it, and I was like, see if he gets injured in the warm-up or something. What if he never scores again for Hearts? Like, brilliant. Well done, Corbett. Another master stroke by you. Ruin our best ever football player. Right, boys.
No.
Well, it was good to see you all. We will podcast as in. We'll go back to our usual schedule on Sunday night. Hopefully reflect on another Heart of Midlothian victory. You boys have a good weekend. Enjoy the football. Not you, Ando. You're not allowed to go.
I'll see you on Saturday.
And I'll see you all. See you all later.
Cheerio.
Cheers, lads.
See you later, lads.
See you later.
See ya.
Gargoyles.